What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of What Would Vinny Do? It's been a minute, a lot going on. Fig season. Been harvesting about 40 figs a day. I gotta tell you, I've been making some really good fig pizzas. So anybody wants to try a fig pizza, let me know. Some goat cheese, drizzled honey, came out amazing. I might show pictures of it on the site. Got a little gardening going on. I gotta send a shout out to my boy Vinny Siciliano. Hook me up. I got some stuff going on in the garden, and he hooked me up, and he's gonna be back doing real estate as well soon. So he's got a lot going on. But thanks to my man Vin. So I did a rant the other day about it's something that's I talk about quite a lot, and it's about agents double-ending deals. And I try to bring awareness to it. I feel like I'm the only one talking about it. I don't know why, because realtors should be upset with it. And they should be talking about it just as much as me. I feel like I'm the only one talking. Sometimes some realtors, when we're at showings, they'll bring it up, but I think I'm the only one who's really passionate about it, trying to spread the message. So I'm gonna talk about a question you should be asking homeowners. A question homeowners should be asking you when they're interviewing realtors. So this is for people trying to sell their house, and I'm going to tell you one of the most important questions that is never asked. I sit down with a million homeowners, and guess what they always ask? What's the commission? What's the commission? What's the commission? That's what they're worried about. And meanwhile, there's something that's more important than that, and I'm going to teach you tonight some of the questions you should be asking. And it's funny because and this is a good stat for you realtors to know, most homeowners, 69% of the time, will sign with the first agent that they sit down and talk to. So how important is it to do that lead gen and to get that appointment? If you get to that kitchen table or wherever, 69% of the time, they're going to sign the first person. So keep that in mind. So back to the question, right? And I'm going to make this simple for homeowners that are thinking of selling, and anybody listening. This is good for realtors, because you need to know when you're coming in the business. A lot of realtors, you probably don't even understand this is going on, or maybe you're being taught that this is the right way to do things, because usually that's what happens. Like I worked in an office once, and it was kind of weird, the stuff that was being taught, and I'm like, this is kind of unethical. But you're trusting people. You just got your license, and you're working, and you're looking up to people who you think are successful and doing well, and they're giving you advice, and you find out some of the stuff is not always on the up and up, right? Hopefully when you find out, you kind of do something about it, or you part ways, which I did. So let's get back to it. There's every real estate transaction has two parts to it, a sell side and a buy side. So one agent represents the seller, the homeowner. One agent represents the buyer, the person who's buying the house. And most of the time, the money comes from the seller is paying the commission to the realtor, and the realtor is splitting their commissions or giving a portion of that. That could be a whole nother podcast, when realtors take 5% and they give out 1%. That we could talk about that. That's another form of of not doing the right thing that we could talk about. But let's do it in the simplest case at 4%, right? So we'll make it an easy number. So someone selling their house offers a realtor 4% to handle the wholesale of their house. They sign an exclusive contract, the right to sell, and they're paying you 4%. So now you offer 2% out to another agent to bring buyers to this house. And we found out that, and you advertise it on the MLS, and it goes out to everywhere. And now you have over 15,000 members of the MLS can all have access to this house and bring their buyers. And doing this when done correctly, gets more money for the seller. And I've done this many times, and I've gotten good at doing it, and it works when you do it right. So 2 weeks ago, I had a listing, just to bring facts to the story, in Pelham Bay. I listed the house for $1.1 million. I did exactly what I said. The commission, again, offered half what I was being paid to the buyer agent to bring buyers, which I listed the property we had so much interest and so many showings that there was multiple offers, like from all the buyer agents who were working representing their buyers, and they were getting paid half the commission. And this benefited my seller, right? Because I did it this way. And we ended up getting 1.25 for a house that I listed at 1.1 million, 150,000 over the price. And it's because of the way I just told you, and because it worked out right. I did it the right way. I got a lot of people to look at the house. We got a lot of offers, and the agent that won, it happened to be someone I knew, and great buyer agent. She represented her buyer. The market was such that she needed to bid high to win, and she did it. And she got a great property, a great investment property, and I'm happy for her. And she made the commission which she deserved. And who did it work out good for when it got done the right way? The seller. That's who worked out the best for, the seller, right? Myself, the buyer agent, and the buyer. Everybody's happy. The buyer got a nice investment property. The buyer agent represented them, got their pay as they deserved. I got my pay as I deserved, and the seller made a lot of money. And that's what you want when you're a realtor, to make your seller a lot of money. So this is an example of when it happens the right way. So now when an agent takes the listing, like I said, on a seller agrees to sell a house, and they're not gonna do that, offer to split the money. And some just blatantly don't do it. Like, they don't go on the MLS, and they'll say they're charging you $3. That's the funny thing. They'll charge you less commission, so you think you're getting a break, but you're not, because you net less money at the end. And that's what this is all about. That's why the commission question is not always the right question. It's definitely not the most important question. Listen, of course you can ask how much commission do you charge, but it is not the most important question. So the important question is, it's coming, right? So, and I'm not gonna make you wait for the whole thing. It's coming real soon. So now, when it doesn't work, so a realtor is not co-broking, and they're not letting other people get access to the house. So they came to you, right? This realtor came to you and you interviewed them, and we did the statistics, 69% hire the first person, right? So they came to you and they sat down, and you know what they did? They showed you why they were the top agent. So they told you they're one of the top agents. They showed you, no, they might have showed you data to prove this. And this is the tough part, right? Because on paper, they might be one of the top agents, but the reason is because of what I just explained to you. They're not splitting deals with anybody. So here comes the question. When they say to you, I'm the top agent, I've done such and such, whatever, 50 deals in this specific area, and I'm number one, I have the most volume, whatever it is, your question is gonna be, how many of those transactions did you co-broke with another agent? And if the answer is none, and some of these people, the answer is gonna be very close to zero, that means they became, it's inflated numbers. It's like the steroids. It's like the Mark McGuire of real estate, or Barry Bonds. And then you got some Jeters out here doing it the right way, and Ken Griffey's, that you're much better off working with them, because it's a farce. It's a farce. The numbers are inflated. So that's the question. And that's one of the most important questions. So right after, and I'll tell you exactly when to ask it, right after they show you, I'm number one, I did this many transactions, that's where you say, right there. They have numbers in front of them, you're gonna say, how many deals did you co-broke? And if the number is low, and that's how they became number one, by putting their interest before yours, okay? So that's the seller side of things that I've been trying to talk about now for the longest time. I've probably done 50 rants on it. People are probably tired of hearing it. But the reason I keep doing it is because I keep seeing homeowners list with realtors who don't broke. We all know who they are. All the good realtors who work together know who the realtors are. It's the crazy thing. And you keep thinking it's gonna stop, because you're like, how many people can they get over on? And it just keeps happening. It's weird. And I think it's because what I'm trying to tell you now, on paper, they're showing that they're number one, but it's at your expense. It's by putting their interest first that they became number one, and putting the seller's interest second. So it's pretty simple if you look at it this way and understand. I know when for realtors it is because we deal with it all the time, but as a homeowner, it's pretty simple. They're keeping more money for themselves, and that's making less money for you. Even if the commission they charge is cheaper than a different realtor that's not co-broken. That's what makes it crazy and gets it a little gray for you guys. But we can have this conversation all day, and you know I love to talk about it, so we can have this conversation all day. But now I want to talk about the realtor side of things, right? I'm always talking about the seller side of things. So people who know me know I've been doing this for a while, right? And I specialize in Country Club, Pelham Bay, areas of the Bronx. And I mostly work on the list side. I've built a team. I have amazing people around me. That's how I've been able to be successful, by having amazing people around me, and just been able to get repeat business, and people trust you, and that's a beautiful thing. But a lot of reason I think I'm successful as well is because I handle the list side of things, right? So I'm focusing on the homeowners and selling their property, and then I have people on my team helping me with other stuff. I have like someone helping me with marketing. I have someone helping me with the systems and keeping track of everything, keeping it together. And then we have buyer agents who focus on working with buyers and become good at that. And that's a system, and it's kind of what we're taught at Keller Williams, and it works, you know. I was able to do it when I had another job, when I was a mailman. I was able to leverage systems and people and to be able to give people the best service possible, and that's what it's about, right? So now, when realtors, I told you what happens when the sellers, what happens to the sellers, right? We know so the realtor, when they don't co-broke, if a realtor does a lot of transactions and we look it up and they don't co-broke, it's 100% that it's at the expense of the seller. And I'll say it to anyone. I have no doubt about it. So what is it? Again, I'm a listing agent, so I just told you that's mostly what I handle, the sale of homes, right? So I do marketing, I do whatever it takes to get my seller the most money, like we talked about, right? That's the goal, to make the seller, nothing else. You sign a contract, and it's your fiduciary responsibility to get the seller the most money. So when you get calls, and this happens all the time, from buyers, and they say to you, I only want to work with the listing agent. So the first time you hear that, the first few times, you're like, this is great. Like people are calling, they only want to work with me. But if you dig into that, why do you think that's happening? Why do you think that's happening? Try to guess, right? So of course you're happy. You're a listing agent. You're gonna make both sides of the deal. You get that call, you're happy. So a lot of people, that's enough to not make them want to dig into it and even figure it out. You're like, what the hell? Like, I'll do both sides. I'll get the money. But if you want to think about it, somebody's told me they compare it to a spouse. You're getting a divorce and you want to use your spouse or your significant other's divorce attorney. Like, why would they want to work directly with the person who has the fiduciary responsibility to the seller? Does that make any sense? But try to think about it. My job, I just said what my job is, to get the seller the most money. Why you want to work with me? If I just told you I have to do that. Because you know why? Because they've worked with so many of these so-called top sellers, and that's not what they're doing. These people who we talked about, and let's say the few, right? Because you want to believe that people are doing things the right way. When they work with them, they're able to get the house at a cheaper price. That's why they want to call the listing agent. They're able to get in to see the place. Some realtors don't even let you in to see the place because they have and you know what's funny? I talk about this a lot. There's two different styles to this, the people who don't co-broke. You got the hardcore style that the guy will not even let you see the property. So you see listing with the person, and all of us, we know who they are. All the people that been in the business for a while. So you tell your buyer, we're not going to get access to that, and you just jump over it, right? But in a way, and that's one style, like the guy who's not letting you in at all, don't even bother, I'm not co-broken. He basically tells you, right? And then there's the style that they smile and you get in, but you're still not getting the property. But the funny thing is, there's a saying, men lie, numbers don't, right? So I just heard I thought of a great thing, right? The MLS, they, from what I understand, if you list some, I heard a realtor say they listed Central Air in a property, and the MLS saw it said Central Air, and let's say it was up north somewhere, wherever in Westchester, and they looked, so the building department looked and saw there was no file on permit, there was no permit filed for Central Air, so now that's a fine that you have to solve before you close the house. Even if the buyer bought the house that way and they didn't even know this is, so the MLS is doing, the Department of State, the MLS, they're working together. And so why don't they do that? Why don't you look up an agent's name, since we have time to look if Central Air was filed a permit before you close, and now the homeowner's got to go pay it, which is fine. I'm not even saying it's wrong, but why don't we take a little time to look up agents and see how many transactions you did and how many were co-broke. It's all on the MLS, right? So if the percentage is under 80% or 90%, if you did 90% of your transactions dual agency or 95, some crazy number, they know you're not doing the right thing and something should be done. So it's kind of, I've been talking to sellers about it for a while. Of course, you don't want to see people get tricked. So now I guess it's a cry to arms to realtors. Like they're hurting a whole side of our business. The buyer side is going to be obsolete. I'm a listing agent and I'm telling you, it's not right. It's not right. For people to call me and want to work directly with me doesn't make sense. And I know why it's happening because of everything I just described. So if we do things the right way, everybody makes more money. Like everybody, people don't understand that. Like, how many times are you gonna get over on people? Like, do things the right way, work with integrity, and then people wouldn't be calling directly to work with the listing agent. Because if we were letting them get appointments, letting them get in, letting them have a fair shot at the property, it wouldn't happen. There would be no need to happen. It's happening because it's being forced to happen. That's why it's happening. It's not an accident that that's happening. So think about it. This is our business. Like, and we need to stand up to people that are not doing it right. Like, it's our craft. Like, we have to respect it. We have to respect it, and we have to, I guess, join together, right? Because, like I said, it doesn't matter what company we're at. If we work together, we make more money, all of us, and in the end, we do better for our clients, and that's what we want. So that's kind of it. Like, and I'm sure I'm going to talk about it again. And I don't know. I don't see much progress in this area. Like, so I guess that's why I'm doing this. Maybe somebody will see it that will be able to do something about it. But the more people that know, the better. And to all the people doing it the right way, keep doing it the right way. And thank you. More great guests to come. I'm back, and we're going to be more steady. We're going to have great guests. Hit that subscribe. You have a topic you want me to discuss, let me know. You have a guest that you think I should have on that's interesting, funny. It doesn't have to be real estate. It could be whatever. Let me know. What would Vinny do? Talk to you soon.